What's up, peeps? Should I say peeps or I'm gonna have to come up with something else? Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to come up with something else. I kind of don't really like that too much anymore. But anywho, um, yeah, top of mind, right? This is what we usually do. So I was just thinking about like my past and like where I am today, and I realized that it's challenging to let go of our past, let go of pain from traumatic experiences. One of the things that I suffered with, and I'm learning every day how to let it go, is the idea of just not having the proper parenting that I wish I would have had. And I'm learning that with my own children, I'm parenting them the way that I wish that I would have been parenting. Now, again, this is like no hit, at my parents. I know my dad was raised by my mother. I feel like they did the best that they could with what they knew. Being as if they were young, I'm almost certain that they didn't know much at all, especially with diving deep into my mother's past. So I lived with a lot of, trauma, mainly from an absent father. And I blamed a lot of my past relationships. I was younger then, so I don't know if I could really look at it like that with, high school sweethearts type stuff. So I'm gonna just say my past marriage, the expectations that I had being with him. I was damaged before him, and I definitely dumped. I dumped on him a lot, but there was, trauma coming from both sides or whatnot, and not making any excuse, for my role in a lot of things or whatnot. But I realized that not having my dad around, I was holding on to a lot of anger. Yeah, a lot of anger. I was upset most of I'm gonna mainly say my teenage into adult life. I remember just feeling alone, and I remember just hoping and wishing that my dad would just reach out to me, even now, as I said, I'm growing through it because talking about it still makes me extremely emotional. So that's how I know that it still bothers me. But I'm working through it. And but I remember, just always feeling alone. And I remember being a teenager and I cried a lot, alone. People didn't really know what I was going through, and I believe that to be the case for a lot of people. You really don't know what people suffer from, especially in silence. People don't always feel comfortable being vulnerable out of fear, mainly of judgment. I feel like a lot of men definitely suffer in silence, and I'm learning to be a lot more empathetic because of that. Because I feel like we all need someone to understand. And I'm dealing with it, I know my dad. I've been around my dad, and even with the amount of absence, it's crazy when you get around someone how much you really feel, damn, you really love them, you know, and but then you're not sure if it's really real, right? Because you haven't really spent that time to really say that you really love this person. Yeah, it's tough, but letting go of that, is the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying right now. Because when we continue to let these things linger and we're not making peace with those things, it really does play a huge role in the relationships of others, especially when you're looking to be a wife, or even a husband to someone. If you're suffering from something, it definitely can get in the way and cause you to project things onto someone, most of the time unconsciously and unintentionally, but it does happen. And when you're both unaware that this is what's taking place, and a lot of times it's happening on both ends. It's not that just one person is dealing with a particular trauma. I believe that, both people are probably dealing with some traumatic experiences or effects that has been unaddressed. And that's typically why these relationships and marriages keep failing, is because we're not aware of the baggage that we're bringing into a relationship. So I think, really diving deep into why you are who you are, and working to become better, iron out whatever kinks that are present, so that you can have something better for yourself, and you're not continuing to allow your past or even some present situations as well to really affect you and bring those into, a relationship or a marriage or whatnot. Yeah, I think that's really where it's at. Learning how to let go. I have to learn how to let go of that little girl, that teenager, that young woman, that ran away. I was a runner because I feared being hurt. So when things went wrong, instead of facing whatever the obstacle was at the time, I ran away because it was just easier. But now that I know, I choose to fight. Right now, I'm fighting for myself. Yeah. That little teenager who didn't know anything, but she knew that where she wasn't where she was supposed to be. They say it's always one out of all the children that's different. I was her. I was the one that people thought had it all, but deep down inside, I was damaged. And my external presence hid a lot of that. It probably was only one person that really knew, one of my friends. She was the only one that knew. She was around a lot. And I'm super grateful for her, because if it wasn't for her, one day I wouldn't have been here, because I just didn't know what I was doing. Yeah. But I'm grateful. And I've been making it ever since. Trial and error. the roller coaster rides. I've been sticking it out because that day changed my life. I really was foolish. And I believe it's a lot of people that's dealing with that, you know. But just some advice. If you weren't supposed to be here, you wouldn't be here. So if you're here, you have work to do. And believe in yourself and figure it out. Don't allow having absent parents. Don't allow bad relationships, breakups, to ever make you feel like you're not worthy of being the best version of yourself and living your best life. You really have to define that for yourself, though, because sometimes you think living your best life is having everything material. Sometimes it's just having that inner peace. I'm learning that that's everything, and that's living my best life. Is every day just knowing that I am exactly who I say I am. Because there was a time, I don't know who the fuck I was, but who I'm recognizing is this evolving woman, you know? This woman who did everything she had to do to survive. And now she's living. So allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm Leslie. My middle name is Lachette. And I'm a dope ass woman. I promise. And if you continue to roll with me on this journey, you're going to make it too. We're going to do this shit together. Hands down. Let go. Can't nothing stop you. Only you. No one or nothing can stop you. You're a child of God. And that's all that matters. Till next time. Laters.